Warning, we are about to spoil the entirety of The World's End. If you haven't seen the movie and plan on watching it, please click away now. But if you have seen the film or do not care, please stick around. Cheers! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cinema Roulette. Don't laugh.
We kind of fell out of sync.
I know.
I laughed.
What do you say? You say, hello,
everybody.
everyone.
Welcome to Cinema Roulette.
Like
I drag it. Yeah. I kind of drag out the welcome.
I think that's where it went wrong, but I'm keeping this.
Okay.
Welcome
sure.
to the final episode of this wheel.
Oh my god, I'm exciting, man.
The first one to finish up. And with a proper ending of The World's End.
Celebration, man.
Yeah, we're all in a happy mood. We shook the table. That ruined the audio.
No, the table was fine.
What? Don't... You can talk too, Axel.
You were on a roll and I wanted you to keep going.
I know, but we got stopped because of the garage door, which you can hear now.
Okay. Well, I was closing it? Fuck.
Well, yeah, we don't want any butt stabbers coming in this house
stabbers? Here. You mean the crazed butt stabber?
Yes.
We're leaving all this in, by the way.
Well, actually, I think me saying The World's End was a pretty good cut.
It was.
Unless you are still going after this part, which makes you kind of an asshole. You're not going to let me edit this one, even if I am allowed to edit. You fuck. Anyway.
Today we are talking about The World's End.
You can't just sync to the title twice.
I wasn't.
Oh, well,
I was just saying we're talking to The World's End. It pops up, Cameron Zero World's End,
I'm sorry, it just seemed like you kind of paused for dramatic effect.
I probably did subconsciously because I'm a fabulous individual.
But we get to talk about Edgar Wright, a man who we would like to... We realized that someday we would probably like to work with Edgar Wright and have cut that audio.
Yes, for good reason.
We will ask him personally, instead of over the internet.
Yes, like a bunch of pussies!
Like a gentleman.
Like a gentleman. Where the fuck do we go from here?
I don't know.
What an amazing intro. Hello there, Randy. How was work today?
How was work today, Randy?
Busy?
Oh, it was apparently busy. Very busy.
Your live commentary from the Justin house. I was going to say your last name, but then realized that you don't want that thrown out on the internet.
Yeah, but this part's totally cut.
Yeah, it is.
It fucking better be.
What? Do you mean nobody? You don't want people to know your last name is Stantonopoulos?
Motherfucker. Well, this is the third movie in the Cornetto trilogy.
Yep, the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy.
Which have no connection other than there's Cornetto ice cream in each one.
Is a different flavor and a color symbolizing what the movie is. Like Shaun of the Dead, it's red because zombies. Hot Fuzz, it's blue because cops. And here it's green because aliens.
Spoilers.
It's called The World's End.
So? The world can end in many ways.
We had a spoiler warning at the beginning, Justin.
Who did it?
You.
Oh, yeah.
Good work. This is going to be a fun fucking episode. All right.
I know. I think we're giddy and tired at the same time, but hopefully it won't be bad.
I'm not tired now.
As bad as
I'm
the
great.
nice guys.
I feel great.
I still hate that episode so much. Oh, that's a... Okay. Anyway.
Do you want to give a little plot summary?
Plot summary? How simple should I go? Because this could be very simple.
I say go simple, then we go from there.
Go as simple as possible?
We'll just go simple, and we'll go from there.
Because the movie starts out with the main man, Gary King, played by Simon Pegg, telling a group of people who we don't find out about until later who they are really.
Mm-hmm.
about a pub crawl he did with his friends out of high school. They lived in a town with 12 pubs because there's nothing to do in Britain.
Yeah, literally a small town you could literally walk across, and it has 12 fucking pubs.
Wasn't it the Golden Mile?
Yeah, that was the name of the crawl, yeah.
Yeah, they tried to go to all 12 pubs, but they stopped at number 9 because they got way too high and too many fights and were just fucking tired.
Yeah.
Cut to 20, 30 years later. I think it's 20.
Something like that, because he's in his 40s now, and all the other ones are older than him, clearly, and all have sustainable jobs.
Yeah. His life is a complete fucking wreck.
Yep.
And someone in this group points out, well, it doesn't kind of suck. You never finish the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike us, where we finished our wheel.
Yes.
Hooray. We're going to die someday.
Just because we're really existential.
That's this movie in a nutshell. I'd like to point that out.
It really is.
But he's like, okay, you know what? You're right. I'll fucking do it then. And he gets all his friends back together, even though they haven't talked to him in years. And
also, I apologize. I can hear the shower in the background.
You really can?
Yes, but it's faint. So
sorry for any sounds.
Yeah.
Any sounds like my voice.
I was gonna say the same joke.
But he rounds all his friends up, even when some of them kind of hate him, saying everyone's coming with, even though no one was coming with.
Yeah, even Andy. I like Andy.
Because he kind of left Andy in a car wreck and for dead, basically.
Yeah. And on top of that, he quit drinking. So, a little hard to do a pub crawl when he wasn't drinking.
But they go back to their hometown and they try to do the crawl. Things are a bit odd. And
like, no one remembers him, even though they should. And the pubs look very different.
Well, that's because they've been corporatized.
Yeah.
Corporatized. That's the word.
That is not the word.
Corporatized.
Corporatized is not a word.
Fuck you. It is now. If bedroom can exist, then corporatized can exist.
Bedroom's a great word. It's the room that your bed is in.
Bedroom didn't exist until Shakespeare. That's actually true.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm not going to explain that one.
I believe you. Just move along. Just from that, not acknowledge that.
Just move. But once some lies start to unravel from King, I always forget his name. It's Peter. Peter King.
Mm-hmm.
No, Gary.
Gary.
Peter is a friend.
Yeah.
Once some of Gary's lies start to unravel and his friends are about to leave, he gets in a fight with a kid in the bar bathroom. And then chops his head off with a urinal.
Yeah.
Because he's a robot.
Yep.
And it turns out the town is full of replicants. And since they're all...
They totally are replicants, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what they say they
Yeah.
are. And Gary decides, hey, if we keep doing what we're doing, because we already said we're doing the pub crawl, they won't notice anything. We can get out scot-free in the morning. Things go awry because they get fucking plastered. And after losing a couple of friends, one even... Watson even turning into a robot. Or not a robot.
You referred to it as Watson.
Yes, I'm going to, and I'm not going to stop.
Just so the audience knows, the guy who played that friend is the same person who plays Watson in the BBC Sherlock. So
BBC.
I know I slurred that a bit, didn't I?
You've been drinking.
The BBC Sherlock. It's a little tricky to say. It doesn't really roll off the tongue easily.
It doesn't.
And I have been drinking, but it was one drink and not even enough to be buzzed.
Too much. Or was I? Oh, yes. Some of the friends are lost to the robots. And they do, after a bunch of shenanigans, not going too much into it, I guess. Well, we do find out the robots can clone you by getting your spit or
DNA,
just any
basically.
DNA, even your sweat, even though that wouldn't have DNA, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they probably have the sweat, but they take skin samples from it, probably.
Yeah.
Because one girl licking his cheek, probably taking a sample.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dead skin makes way more sense than sweat, but sweat probably sounded better in the wording.
In the wording, yeah.
And they do actually make it to the world's end, but it turns out that's the alien headquarters.
He tries to pull himself a pint just to finish the pub crawl, and it ends up being the switch to go down to the alien headquarters.
They try to argue that what they're doing is good, that they're just trying to get Earth Right to basically join the Intergalactic Space Force.
Yep. You said that very epically.
Well, because how else are you supposed to say Space Force?
True.
And due to probably being absolutely plastered at this point because of around 12 pints of beer, they argue with the aliens to a point of annoying the shit out of them, and they leave.
One of the funniest is just like, fuck it.
Yeah, the head alien just goes, you know what? Fuck it. And then the world kind of ends and goes back to the Dark Ages.
Ironically, starting with the bar named The World's End.
Yeah, I think that's the joke, Cameron. I think that's...
You get it, Justin?
Because, you can't do this joke.
Do you get it?
No, see, you have too much sarcasm in your voice. You gotta...
Too much sarcasm in my voice.
Now you're just sounding like you're doing a really bad Heath Ledger... No, not Heath Ledger. Mark Hamill impression of the Joker.
Get it right.
Sorry, I confused the two good Jokers.
Fair.
And then all the friends who disappeared kind of go back to... Who are now replicants go back to their normal lives as best they can in this new wasteland.
Yeah.
Nick Frost, who is Pierre's main friend, and Andrew?
Is his name Andrew?
I think
they refer to him as something.
Andy.
Andy. They refer to him as Andy. Yeah.
Andy is kind of just the old wise man who knew what happened.
He becomes the old wise man.
Because
all the electronics on Earth are just gone, so it's relying very heavily on like word of mouth. So.
And it's Steve who gets married, right? To the one chick.
It's the guy who confessed his love earlier.
Yeah, because Oliver and Peter are the ones who are taken. So yeah, Steve gets Oliver's sister.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
And Gary finally finds happiness in basically going around causing trouble. Adventuring. Trouble. Sorry, I slurred.
You're good.
Being the Five Musketeers. And that's the movie. Okay, bye.
But yeah, this I remember this one sticking out in my mind a lot more when I first watched it. Thanks, Brain. When I first watched the movie, because it has a pretty big mean streak running through the whole thing, especially compared to the other two, which were a lot more lighthearted than this one.
Yeah, like the opening of Shaun of the Dead is pretty mean, but it gets happier near the end.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz is just straight up satire throughout most of it.
Yeah, and it's the interesting thing, because that's the whole thing, is he's the, an unstoppable badass in that movie. A perfect cop in a small town.
Yeah. Or like this cop who's supposed to be taking out big city cases is in the most boring village.
Yeah, I know, right? And it just kind of throughout the whole thing has this mean streak, because Simon Pegg plays a much meaner and especially compared to the other character, like his character in Shaun of the Dead, who's kind of an asshole. He plays a huge asshole here.
Yeah, it reaches points of unlikable where he literally lies about his mother's death to get Andy to go along.
Yeah,
played by Nick Frost,
of course, because he's in all of these. But and him and him and Simon Pegg, I think, are genuinely good friends. So
also Martin Freeman is Watson. In case
Martin Freeman, that I knew. Okay, I knew his name, but yeah, I think that's why it stood out in my mind, because it has this really big mean streak, but it also humanizes the characters in a way that really the other one, I felt kind of the other ones didn't do. Like, they were human, but it was like, well, it didn't really focus on any of it. And to me, it just kind of felt more three-dimensional than the other movies.
But then you kind of have to ask the question, how, to this level of humanization, is that really needed for a comedy?
No, but it just made the affair, I think, that much more memorable, because it was a mix of comedy and some pretty real moments.
Yeah, there's some, like, near the end especially, where I almost said Nick because it's Nick Frost playing.
Nick Frost, yeah, Andy.
Where Gary and Andy are finally fighting, and there's a microwave in the background.
Is there?
You hear it or no?
Yeah.
Thought so.
I once it came on, I did. So I thought you meant like in the movie. I'm like, wait, there was a microwave in the bar?
Well, there might be. I don't know.
Yeah,
in the back room. But Gary and Andy get into a fight, and we actually find out Gary had been in a mental ward,
Yeah.
I think for alcohol addiction.
For alcohol addiction, yeah, he admitted himself, and he's like, you know, it just gets really real, and you can see this, the emotions that they had bottled up, and clearly there was some tension there, but they just kind of let it all out.
And, like, just how Gary is this absolute broken character.
Yeah.
And he even, like, admits the only thing he really has in life anymore is this crawl.
Yeah.
Even though his life was supposed to start that night of the crawl, but it never continued.
Yeah, and it's just great. I felt how they built up the characters, because you knew who they all were, honestly, right from the beginning, because he goes around introducing himself, so you can get the good, like, tell from just how they're talking to him what their characters' personalities are and what happened between them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just felt that added a lot more to the movie. Like, I think the reason it stuck out more is because I wasn't expecting it. Honestly, because the other two, like you said, were... Like, Shaun of the Dead has a bit of mean-spirited beginning, but they were more lighthearted overall. This just throughout it had kind of a mean streak, but also humanized the characters in a way that the other two did not. So...
Yeah, I would admit to that, too. But, again, I don't know if that works comedy-wise. Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't, but I felt it was a good mix of comedy and kind of seriousness, honestly. It was more serious than I remember it. So
that's also very true. I think with the Cornetto trilogy, I was mentioning this before we started, and before everyone in this kitchen started being loud.
Yeah.
But there are, like, if there was a scale, it'd be three different. There would be two sides. There would be serious, and there would be fully comedic.
Yeah.
All under the scale of comedies. Most serious would probably go at World's End. Middle is Shaun of the Dead, and then far comedy is Hot Fuzz.
Absolutely.
And I personally still do like Hot Fuzz a lot more.
Yeah.
Not that this is bad in any way.
No. Yeah. No, same. Of the three of them, I think Hot Fuzz is definitely the best. It's the most rewatchable. It's the best. It knows what it is and it rolls with it. It's hilarious.
It may also be because we're huge fans of action too.
Yes. Yeah.
But the action scenes in this are actually pretty fucking great.
Yeah, that was the thing. But yeah, anything else you want to say about the characters or anything?
Everyone does a fantastic job.
As
everyone's
usual,
pretty distinct.
Yeah, all the characters are memorable. All the actors give their all. And I know we've repeated ourselves the next couple movies. It's just we've watched movies where all the movies that we've reviewed this week, honestly, they none of them have like half-assed it really. So
yeah. Also, the makeup on Simon Pegg to make him look different is pretty amazing. I think first time I watched this film through completely legal reasons.
Yeah.
I'm methods. I didn't know that was him.
Really?
Yeah, well, because I think I watched this when I was still getting into film. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't like looking into actors or anything like that. It was just like, oh, I heard this is connected to Hot Fuzz. Well, I'll watch that. And I didn't know that was Simon Pegg till after I watched it. And I was just like, wait, really? Just his slick back hair, and I wonder if he lost weight for it or something.
He probably did. So, because he looks a lot thinner than he did in the other ones. So.
Yeah, and he was already an average build.
Yes, yeah. Like, nowadays he's really thin. Like, if you watch Mission Impossible 6, like, he's really thin in that, so...
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Nick Frost and Simon Pegg bounce off each other so fucking perfectly.
They're good friends in real life, and you can tell they have great chemistry together, so... And because Nick... It's interesting, too, Nick Frost's character, he plays... Like, he's the straight man throughout most of it.
Yeah.
Because, like, he could tell that... He's just kind of, at the beginning, very angry, pouty, and straight-laced. And it's very different than any of the other characters. He was more of the comedic relief in the other two, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
So, it kind of switched places a bit in that regard, didn't it?
Maybe Nick was getting fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
Also, we have a returning actress who we've already seen with Rosamund
Pike, yeah.
Rosamund Pike, who was the wife in Gone Girl.
Yep. I mean, we saw her face, we're like, wait
I was
a
like,
minute.
I know you.
Yeah.
I was about to say a spoiler for Gone Girl, but just in case you skip that episode, I won't.
Yeah, she plays Ben Affleck's wife. That's all we'll tell you.
And she does a great job in that movie, too.
She does. She's fantastic.
She's not in this enough to really...
Yeah, but...
She gets some good lines, and her face is actually really good for reactions, if that makes sense.
It really is. She's like, a lot of the time. So, and I know you guys could totally see that for this audio podcast.
Well, I'll do it again. Hold on. Well, you see, Cameron's lower jaw is bent at a 30-degree angle, while the upper jaw is... Oh, he's moved it.
I'm sorry. I have to do that. Let me think of Robeson Pike.
And his upper lip is at a 60-degree angle. His eyes are only 45% open as he stares at the
I can't. I couldn't hold that face for much longer. Jesus. I'll flash just a clip or a screenshot of her face. There you go.
Cameron forgot to put it in. Bet. But now that I said that, he didn't.
Yeah.
So, it's a win-win.
Win-win?
Yeah, because you proved me wrong.
Okay.
So you win, in that case. Unless you didn't put it in.
Forgive me, I thought you were talking solely about yourself when it came to winning.
I'm not that egotistical. I'm just amazing and perfect, so why would I need to talk about myself anymore?
Yeah, the action scenes were really well done. Like, especially, I mean, they're a lot better. Like, I remember them being good, but these were really fucking awesome, honestly.
Yeah, they were... You can see kind of the build-up to Baby Driver here.
Yeah.
Like, he learned in Hot Fuzz how to kind of do shooting. Mm-hmm. Like, those scenes are still fun, but they're still kind of too quickly edited.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim, he got more of the understanding of how to hold.
Yeah.
And this one, it's the syncing of the music and the and keeping the motion in there without you getting lost.
Especially the bar scene, there's a lot of like just the camera weaving in and out of the crowd, one shots and spinning around. And there were probably a couple transitions there where people flew by the camera and it was a different take. Probably. Yeah,
it's kind of like the church fight in Kingsman.
Yes.
But not as violent.
No, but
it might be more violent.
Yeah, who knows? A lot of the action just felt very Kingsman-y before Kingsman.
You know, I bet if they didn't swear in this, it would be PG-13.
Oh, yeah, easily, yes.
But the swearing makes it funny.
It does. It's great.
Yeah, but since the robots can, like, be pulled apart, they can pull their head off and it keeps moving, or pull the arms off.
And all their limbs, basically their legs, arms.
They're like action figures, basically. It allows for so much more versatility during these fight scenes, and you just get moments where, like, this headless guy is going towards them and he pull off an arm and hit someone else.
Or like the one woman with the two legs as the arms and she spins them around.
Yeah, because her friend was taken out, but she lost her arm, so she puts on legs and keeps kicking.
Yeah, just kind of spins around like that. It's just very creative, honestly.
They even go kind of Jackie Chan with how much they use the environment.
Oh yeah, like the beer bottles he thrown and going through the chair. He picks up 2 chairs and just goes
uses them like Hulk fists.
Great.
Or when Sam, that's who Miss Pike plays.
Yes,
I don't want to try to say her first name.
It's okay.
Again. But Sam picks up the umbrella and starts just spinning that around as well.
Or like when they took when I think it was Nick Frost guy spun him above his head.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Bane style breaks his back over his knee. Or they punch one towards the sink and it gets split in two.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like it just like smooth motion. Just bottom half gone, left half up on the.
Or when fucking and he punches in the woman's gut and pulls out his ring.
Because she swallowed his ring earlier.
The fight is just brutal and awesome.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the fight. Cinematography is fantastic.
Because Edgar Wright, the editing is. Of course. There's so many nice swipes and match cuts and just.
As an editor, that just.
I think I've seen an interview Edgar Wright saying he doesn't like the idea of people copying his style.
Dude.
Which, I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
It's like make your own style sort of thing, but this is so good.
Yeah, honestly. So.
Some of those match cuts.
So good.
Trying to think else. Well, going with the editing, because this is Edgar Wright, the music that syncs up with it.
The soundtrack is great. Very memorable. Like, it starts out with more, like, pop hits and all that, but actually, because the sci-fi slowly gets more electronica as it goes towards the end.
Which, I find that so fucking clever. It's something you don't notice unless you're looking out for it. Mm-hmm. It just slowly builds more and more to this electronica. And also, what was the song by The Doors?
Alabama song, parentheses, whiskey bar.
That sunk up so... That scene was probably one of my favorites, because it was just funny seeing them drunkenly...
they were all doing in sync. Bum, 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 bum.
and the cutting went to it. Oh, it's just a nice
so good.
watch.
You gotta love when Edgar Wright does that.
Fuck, I was gonna say something. I forget.
Was something about the music, cinematography?
No, it was something about the film, but
Well, gee, really?
yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Fuck, I completely lost it.
Shit. Well, I'll probably remember it later on, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just was so well done. It's a very
I remember.
okay.
Because the thing I love about the movie, with the story and characters, is this is a normal sci-fi movie of alien invasion.
And characters they're stuck in the middle inadvertently and have to figure out what to do.
Yeah, they're stuck and have to figure out what to do, and are also plastered out of their fucking minds.
Yes.
It's such a great comedic setup. It's just throwing one thing into the mix and then seeing what happens.
Exactly, and that's the thing I felt that balanced the serious and comedy is too, as well. It's just like has very serious, very real moments. Simon Pegg's a fucking asshole, but the dialogue is so quick, and the comedy just keeps assaulting you in a lot of the scenes. It's just fucking funny.
Yeah, and just moments where it's like they're clearly when they're fighting. I think the joke kind of builds up with since it's so smooth fighting like Kingsman and whatnot, but they're wasted.
Yes.
Which also, if you really want to get meta,
Like they're thinking they look that cool, but they really don't.
well, because Nick is telling the story.
Yeah,
Andy is telling the story to the survivors
yeah.
at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So possibly, if you wanted to put up that theory, they didn't fight that cool.
Yeah. It was just dumb luck that Andy managed to just defeat all of them. He's such a big fucking dude.
Or maybe that would explain why he's the best fighter.
Yeah, because he's telling the story. If Edgar Wright ever listened to this, he'd just be like, no, that was my intention, dude.
No, it was just supposed to be funny because the
Yeah.
fattest guy is the most agile.
Yes. Yeah, because he does that sick dodge with the big rod, just spins out of the way and just gets back up.
Or when he elbow drops one in the bathroom.
It's like you think that'd be physically impossible for this huge hulking dude, but
Well,
no.
an elbow drop isn't hard. You just need a
No.
fall.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he kind of jumped up just.
Plus the adrenaline.
Fair.
I guess going on those serious moments a bit more, those are just such harsh truth. Because last one was a Fight Club, and that's a coming of age story.
Yeah.
This is like an anti-coming of age story.
It's strange, yeah, because well, Fight Club had some really dark moments. It did arguably have a lighter tone than the comedy at times.
Yeah, and also the end of a coming of age story is usually the moral is something like you do have to grow up, but don't forget to be a kid.
No, exactly.
But this one is very much don't stay in the past so hard, or otherwise your life just kind of becomes garbage.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the moral message of this story. So
Also, the ending, I don't know how to take it because the human race is screwed now.
yeah. Again, the first time I watched it, I just appreciate for kind of how ballsy it ends. Like, everything's not okay. We went back basically to the Stone Age.
Yeah, we went back to the Dark Ages.
And there's humans are still assholes, but there's all this prejudice against the robots, which when they disconnect from the mothership, they're kind of just lost. So,
and also it's if we were controlled and just did as we were told, we may have turned out better.
but what kind of life would that be?
And also, what's his Gary?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I can't remember Gary. Someone who plays Fallout 3 gets that joke. But Gary is actually happy at the end.
Yeah.
So his goal is reached.
Yep.
Who was our main character beforehand, he wins.
Yeah.
Everyone else loses.
Yeah, honestly. Because he becomes kind of this badass wastelands, just traveling around being a badass. Honestly, it's never really explained what his objective is.
Also, if you wanted to be a nitpicky asshole, I'm sure someone would be like, "Well, shouldn't there be some humans that know how to make computers and stuff?" And
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You think you'd be able to make wires and chips from scratch? But
it's nitpicky.
yeah.
It's still a good movie for. I'm trying to think of other things.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know how to take the tone that I know we just kind of keep saying that mystically. I'm trying not to repeat ourselves,
but it is such a departure from the other Three Flavors movies.
I think from any of his movies, honestly.
Yeah, for real. Because I mean, Baby Driver's obviously more serious, but that's still overall fun.
Yeah,
until the end. But I mean,
fun summer. That's a summer movie.
Yeah,
a summer blockbuster.
Exactly.
Except the ending, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah. But as I said, like, I kind of had to admire it for that, because I didn't say I could expect that from the last movie in the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy out of all of them.
Yeah, and I think that is kind of a proper way to end it, in this sort of bittersweet way of not really knowing if the message is to grow up or stay where you are, kind of.
Because, I mean, there is the message of grow up, but at the same time, they kind of defeat the bad guy by saying,
by being immature as hell.
Yeah, exactly. By saying, we're not going to change.
But then doing that also caused the end of the world.
Yeah.
Which is bad for everyone else, but the main character seems happy.
Yeah, which is kind of, wow, what a selfish prick. But you know what? Throughout the movie, he was a selfish prick. So, kind of fits his character, honestly.
I mean, I've sacrificed more for my own happiness.
No, stop. So have I. Stop.
This is spoilers for something, but we won't talk about it.
So have I.
But yeah, a very interesting film, honestly.
I'm sorry, as soon as you touched base, I heard the on your face, the slap, yes.
Oh, you're going to hear this next time.
By my next time, we mean tomorrow.
Well, you'll hear it tomorrow. They won't hear it till like a week or so. Because I still don't know if we're releasing a TV episode next or and we can't even know what the next TV episode is because we did the math and we're on something after Hannibal season 2 at this point.
Yeah, we kind of again shot this out of order, so we apologize.
Yeah, I think telling them it's out of order is at least better than
them saying, "Well, how could you not know the TV throw wheel?"
Or how come you don't know what happened in August? It's like I don't fucking know.
We literally have a backlog of 18.
Camera won't let me edit.
Fucking, actually, because the last recorded one, I'm just going to do this real quick, because I'm curious.
Okay.
Also, I don't know why I'm talking like Archer. But fucking, let me see here. So, Prince Eden of the East 2...
Yeah, last thing, for context, last thing that's gone up is Eden of the East Part 1, I'm pretty sure?
Yes. And we recorded Evil Dead 2013... I'm scared, Justin.
When did we record that?
Oh.
Cameron?
Oh.
Buddy?
We recorded Evil Dead 2013 on February 25th, 2019.
Okay, this is going to be some behind-the-scenes drama unless Cameron cuts out. This is why I want to edit some, because we have stuff all the way back in February.
March, April, May, June. That's 4 months.
4 months. Yeah.
4 months. 4.
I can edit a couple, Cameron. Jesus. I know you have fun. Don't worry. You have 18. There's 18 episodes. We don't even have to split equally. Jesus Christ.
Look, I'm keeping testicular cancer, Justin.
Fine, keep that one. My vagina is fluffy. There's a fun out of context quote.
That wasn't from Fight Club. Was it?
No, not at all.
Where the fuck did you pull that from?
My ass.
My vagina is fluffy.
My vagina is fluffy.
Justin 2019. I can't fucking... Okay, moving on.
I can't tell which you're laughing at. The fact that that's all the way back in February or my fluffy
Your
vagina.
fluffy vagina.
Okay.
That's what I'm...
Intermission.
I'm laughing at your vagina.
Okay, you're good?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Actually, one thing I'm kind of thinking about is how I can't think of an American comedy that would even try something this dark.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays.
That's the thing. It's really what you have to admire about a lot of British humor is how they don't really give a fuck, honestly. Like, it's so much darker, and that's why I kind of have to admire, because I talk to my musician friend JJ all the time about this, because he loves British comedy, and, like, there's a couple sitcoms written that are hilarious. One's called Ab Fab, it's short for Absolutely Fabulous, and the other is Father Ted, and it's just, this British humor is so funny because it's just so irreverent at times.
English, please.
Irreverent?
Yes.
You know what irreverent means?
I've never heard before. And I've heard twice before 24 hours.
You've never heard the word
Never
irreverent?
have.
Like, something is reverent. That means it's respectable. Basically disrespectful.
Okay.
Like, they don't give a shit.
I've never heard that word
You've
before.
never heard of irreverent?
I've never.
I'm shocked. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, it's just that... Basically, it's just...
I'm just making Cameron speechless tonight.
You're not fucking with me, right? You've never heard that word.
Not to my knowledge.
Right. Okay. But yeah, they just kind of don't give a fuck about it, and just it has so much more. And just talking about The World's End, it just has so much more substance than any American movie would even attempt to try. Honestly. Nowadays, because the thing you have to love about Edgar Wright and a lot of this British humor is it's a mix of vocal and physical humor. Like, it's not just all someone talking the whole time trying to be funny because they're saying something stupid or immature.
It's almost like it's a visual media.
Exactly. Like, it's not someone going on a fucking ad-lib contest. What the fuck was that? Line-orama is what the Cinema Snob calls it. It's not just a bunch of line-oramas, just actors improvising stuff and, like, saying stupid shit and just hoping that it gets so stupid that someone will have to laugh at it.
There's movies I want to bring up right now,
Okay.
but if we ever have a vote for a wheel, I know the internet is full of assholes, and they will put it on there.
Fair.
But there's a movie I am thinking of right now, and I will tell you later.
All right.
And I'm just like, I hope to God we don't have to.
Mm-hmm. It's like they know... They know... What, because they...
Hold on, get your words together before you have to stroke.
This is going great. I love this episode. This is my favorite so far.
You okay, buddy?
Good. I'm just trying to think here of how to words it because every thought was kind of flooding in my mind at once. And I was kind of like...
I could tell.
I was kind of... Okay.
Jesus Christ, you sound like you're about to vomit.
Oh my God, just...
Intermission.
Oh my God. I think it's just because I imagine just myself just talking and then just out just hard, like projectile vomiting in just the middle of an episode. That just killed me. Okay, let's try.
Take a drink.
Let's try to do this, buddy. Oh God.
Do you think you can form a sentence now?
Yes, I think I can. Just let me get a drink.
I'll sit down.
Don't make me laugh, please. I'm taking a drink. I don't want.
I'm not trying.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Now that Cameron has gotten all of his giddiness.
Now that we've restarted Cameron.exe.
Yes, that was a very hard process to do. It's just they know how to do dialogue so much better, and like I said, it's a mix of dialogue and physical comedy. But I was trying to focus, I think, on both at once. But it's British. It's not, and fast comedy is funny, but it's witty at the same time. And wit is something that's just completely lost on American audiences,
That's why Nice Guys didn't do well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's because it's something that's dark humor. It's clever and it's witty and it's just irreverent at times. So,
and I think another thing is because you're saying it knows how to balance dialogue
Yes.
and physical comedy. but when there's nothing physical happening, it knows to edit.
Yeah, exactly.
To make the joke land.
Yes.
Because a lot of times in American comedies now, it's just like, it's a camera, you set it up on a tripod, it stares at them, zooms in, zooms out, that's it.
And the problem is they try to draw out the joke a lot of the time. It's like, if something's not funny, like in this movie, there's some stupid fucking lines, but then they'll immediately cut to something else that is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so...
And I know someone's going to call us out and say, like, we're just quoting... Oh, what is it? Every Frame Pain, thank you.
Hold on, I need to blow my nose. But go on. You have a separate mic.
I know, but I know your mic's going to pick that up.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever want to look that up, it's Edgar Wright, How to Do Visual Comedy. It's a great video essay.
And there is a scene that is in this film that I'm going to mention here as well.
Yeah.
Because it's mentioned in the essay, but it is a very good example. Gary doesn't know Andy doesn't drink, even though everyone told him. And they go to the bar.
Then again, it's clearly established that he doesn't fucking listen.
Yeah, he
has
selective hearing.
Yeah. How's your wife? Good. What's her name? That's that. Oh, great. What was her name? I just said that.
No. Linda. Who's that? My wife. Oh, you have a wife? Yeah. What's her name? Linda. Or whatever they said it was.
They keep saying he has a selective memory, but go on.
He says, just 4 drinks. I'll have a water. And... you could just 100% see Simon Pegg off in the left go, what? Yes. But it does this hard zoom in that just lands the joke way harder.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it shows, like, very dramatic, all the drinks being filled with this dramatic, like, like someone just tearing across a violin. And then the water just goes...
Yeah, he, like, hits a button. It's just no music. It's just... It's why it's funny. Again, it mixes dialogue and visual jokes so well.
Yeah, that's something we're going to have to just cocksuck every time we fucking talk about Edgar Wright.
Well, again, because it's like American comedies are so drab and so not funny that it's just like...
There's no risks in them.
There's no risks, exactly. And like this takes a lot of risk. It's funny with the humor, and he's a fucking asshole, but again, at the same time, it's not afraid to go to dark places, which to me, I guess, was refreshing, especially when this came out. What 2012?
2013.
13, yeah. So...
Or, I'm thinking about because, okay, the whole joke of this film is they're doing a pub crawl and they're drunk during this horrible sci-fi event. That could have been the main joke of the movie. That could have been the entire movie. Just a joke of drunk people accidentally fumbling their way through things.
And it still would have been funny.
It still would, but it wouldn't have landed nearly as hard, even though this one has a lot more dramatic stuff thrown in.
Yeah.
Yet there's American comedies like I Feel Pretty, where the joke is, it's a chick who isn't pretty, but she thinks she's pretty.
She's fat, and she thinks she's pretty.
She's not even that fat.
No, but that's the joke.
She's the Hollywood fat.
Yeah, that's the joke that it's like, oh, I'm so sexy, and she's actually supposed to be like heavier.
That movie is, I'm pretty sure, like 20 minutes longer than this one.
Oh, dear Christ.
That's the joke.
Oh, God.
That's the joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, again, it's just American comedies tend just to have, like, one joke and just draw it out because they think it's hilarious. And it's...
Look, Jack and Jill, Adam Sandler's playing a woman and himself, and he hates himself. Probably because he wrote Jack and Jill.
But yeah, that's the difference is, I feel like American comedies try too hard to be funny. And it's just this one, there's just so much wit and just stuff thrown in there that it's fun. You have to know how to do comedy. And American films just don't know how to do comedy.
They try to find a safe way to do it that will make you laugh if you're drunk.
Yeah.
Which, irony.
Yes, but... But yeah, no, it's just this. It's witty, it's great, and it's, you know, it just has a good sense of humor about it.
Sense of humor and pace.
And again, it gave me more, I guess, than what I expected. So...
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else we have to say on that, or?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a very good movie. I think it's one that I'm going to think about and just kind of honestly appreciate more and more I think about it. So
yeah, and also having the balls for such an open ending on how to interpret it.
Yeah,
that's pretty good for any movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let alone a comedy. So
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, do we have anything else to say about the movie? Do you think?
I think I've said my piece.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything to spin. We have already planned the new wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Should I say what is on the wheel, except the one we already know we're going to start?
Yes.
Okay, because you can technically see the wheel since we started putting it in the background over there. But, this one is, again, split into 4 categories. They are... And this time it's only 4 movies per category instead of 5. I couldn't think of the number after 4. Go me! We have Cabaret, Five Finger... Oh, okay. Well, this first category is one that I made. It's favorites from directors that I could find online. Mm-hmm. And I will say which director liked what when we get to them.
Yeah, I'm in the dark as to whose movie was an influence on what.
Yeah, you just know one of them is Edgar Wright's.
Yeah, and I'm going to spoil this one. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels by Guy Ritchie is on there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was Edgar Wright's. I was like, oh, that's obviously that because they have a very similar style, Guy Ritchie and
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. But no, that's not his.
It's not, and that's kind of the funny part.
Yeah.
We got Cabaret, Five Fingers of Death, Time Bandits, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, as Cameron said. This other section was by me. It's from one of my favorite channels called Cinefix. Cinefix Picks. I enjoy that name. And it's from different ones of their videos. There's Man Bites Dog, The Killer, by John Woo, because I know there's also The Killers. And
by Stanley Kubrick, yeah.
Yes.
Or no, Killers was the other one. The Killing is Stanley Kubrick. It's very confusing.
It is. There's a lot of killing in movies.
Yeah.
Then there's also In a World.
Yep.
And Enemy. This one is from Cameron with J-Horror Roots. A lot of 60s J-Horror.
Yeah, I think it's an exclusively 60s J-Horror because Criterion... The thing is, I've always loved J-Horror. It's just been kind of fascinating, I'm a huge Silent Hill fan, obviously, but like Japanese ghosts and stuff like that. And there was a list of old Japanese horror movies. And it turns out that all the ones that were old that I was interested all had Criterion editions. So, yeah, I bought them. I was like, oh, okay, Criterion's released all of these. Okay, cool. So I bought them and checked them out. And I'm like, I really fucking like these. So
JHC. Japanese Horror Criterion.
Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, this is basically J-Horror. It's like the start of J-Horror, basically.
There's Jingoku.
Jigoku, which literally translates to hell.
Kuroneko,
which translates to Black Cat.
Quiden? Is that the way you say it?
Quiden, yeah, I don't know the translation of that, but it's an anthology horror movie.
And Onibaba.
Onibaba,
sorry.
About the freaky fucking mask cover that you didn't like.
I didn't, no.
Yeah. You're not supposed to. It's an Onibaba mask. I guess that was a demon type of Oni.
And then the last one, it was still, I think, mostly your picks. Mm-hmm. But we connected it through the one we are going to do.
Yeah.
It is Out of This World.
Basically, it's not just alien movies. It's basically movies where reality itself kind of starts to crumble.
Yeah, where there's either another dimension or another realm.
Yeah, think Lovecraftian, where some big dimension shattering thing happens. So,
and we have, besides the one we're doing, In the Mouth of Madness, Jacob's Ladder, and Annihilation.
Yes,
and we will not be doing the film right away. We actually are going to do, an episode talking about something we feel we need to get to before we get to more wheels.
Yes.
And also we're going to kind of recap over all the films we've sat through. Mm-hmm. Like, if there's anything else we want to add, or if there is just new feelings.
Yeah, if your opinions have changed, and we know at least one of them has.
Yes. And when we do finally get back to doing films, it turns out we've already had the wheel land on this. You fuck.